Hi there everybody, it's UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator Helzie here from SlimmandStylish.stampinup.net. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. I hope you are having a lovely day. I'm going to be showing you my new project, which I am making a heap of these for my colleagues at work. So these are what I'm calling my half Christmas crackers, because they only actually have one cracker end on and not another one, so they're kind of half. But also, whereas crackers are normally sort of square at the top, these are a slim rectangle, so they're sort of half in two ways, but they are definitely not small. I mean, look at this, they are huge. I'm going to be able to fit so much stuff in there to give everybody. So this is using the Whimsy suite from the July-December mini catalogue. What I've done here is I've done the pink ones with the gorgeous pink trimming for the girlies in my office, and I've also done this one here with this denim trim, which you might think that denim ribbon doesn't look familiar. It's not. This is actually coming, this is a sneak peek. This is coming up in the January catalogue. So anyone who wants one of those catalogues, give me a shout, but that's in there. And I just thought it worked really well because it's Misty Moonlight and it goes well with the Misty Moonlight cardstock. So this is my boys cracker, which still obviously looks feminine because I can't get away from the fact that I make girly stuff, but you know, it's blue. So let me show you this suite in the catalogue, because if you like this, you only have a limited time to purchase it. This will be retiring at the end of the year, which is really sad because it's my favourite suite in the catalogue. I love it, and the papers are to die for. And you know what things are like when they start to retire at Stampin' Up, they go quick. So if you like it, get in quick, don't miss out. You can purchase this and everything else I'm using in this video from SlimmandStylish.stampinup.net. And of course, if you buy before the end of September, you fall in for my free soft pastels assortment promotion that I'm running. You can find all the details about that on my soft pastels video that is on my YouTube as well. Okay, so if you like this, don't miss out. So I've used the stamp set. This is the stamp set Whimsical Trees. I have used this gorgeous sort of holly piece just here on this card, and funnily enough, look, it coordinates with the paper. I have used the baubles, which are on this card, to coordinate with the bauble paper, and the sentiment I have used is wishing you Christmas cheer and magical moments that last all year. I think that sentiment's gorgeous. So those are the three stamps that I'm using. Also to coordinate with the stamp set is the die set. This is a set of 13 dies that matches all the trees. It does the fun outlines as well. More trees on this one. You've got some baubles, you've got some stars, but also you have got two dies that cuts out the holly and that cuts out the baubles. So there you go, the holly and the baubles, and that's what we're using for this project. In addition to that, you have got the ribbon. Wait till you see this ribbon, it is beautiful. It is polished pink, so it matches this suite. It is frayed at the edges, so it just has that extra dimension. It's gorgeous. And we also have the snowflakes. So these snowflakes come on a sheet like this of 6. They're protected by the sugar paper. Really lovely. They're iridescent on the one side, white on the other side. And here I've got a whole load of them pushed out. There's the lovely iridescent side, because as I said, I'm making a whole load of these as a project. And once you actually push those out, this is what's left. I am not throwing this away. I'm going to be punching into that, cutting into that. I think it's beautiful. And finally, and to me the real highlight of this suite, is the Speciality Designer Series paper, which is all foiled and iridescent and gorgeous. So there's not much of it left because I've been using this paper for quite a few different projects that I've been doing. In fact, I think these are the only ones left. Oh, hang on, there's a little bit of this one. But they're 12 by 12, gorgeous, shimmery, beautiful. And the backs are nice as well, even though they're not gorgeous and shimmery, but they're still very nice. So they're beautiful papers. The ones I'm going to be using today and showing you features this lovely holly bit. I've already chopped into it. So the way I make my projects is I chop everything at first, I line it all up against the floor, and then I just do mass assembly, which is what I'm going to be doing for you. So this is the entire suite. You can get the whole suite for £74.50, which is a very good price because we actually have a joining offer on at the moment up until the end of the month. So you can join Stampin' Up for the price of £75 and you can get £130 free of goodies. So you could include this in that joining offer, and I'd love to have you as part of my team. I'll tell you more about that later. Let's get started. So what you're going to need for this project is you're going to need a piece of cardstock. As you can see, I've already cut everything. I'm just going to be assembling it, but I will give you all of the sizes on the video, okay? So this is an A4 sheet of cardstock. So it is 8 1/4 inches wide. I haven't cut anything off it, it's 8 1/4. On the length, I have actually cut a very small panel off the side there. So it's actually 10 1/2 inches. Okay, so you want it 8 1/4 by 10 1/2. I'm just going to move the layers to the side and we'll go through those later. Do you know this is my second time of recording this video? I know. I've done it before and I forgot to press the record button. Aren't I daft? So I'm going to go slowly with this so that you can all get the measurements. But you want to score it on the shorter side at 2 1/2 inches. Okay. 4 inches. 6 1/2 inches. And 8 inches. Once again, 2 1/2, 4, 6 1/2, 8. 2 1/2, 4, 6 1/2, 8. Okay. And now I'm going to score it on the long side at 1 1/2. 7 1/2. 8 1/4. And 9. 1 1/2, 7 1/2, 8 1/4, and 9. That's 1 1/2, 7 1/2, 8 1/4, and 9. Okay. So for the next bits, you're going to need bone folder, snips, the tailored tag punch, and your tear and tape. Okay, so these are the tools you're going to need for the next bit. All right, I'll talk you through it. You want to fold this bottom piece up, but these top pieces here that have the 3 scoring in close succession, you want to fold that in on the first line and score. Then you want to fold this middle line back on itself and score, and then this top line you want to bring forward again. So you have a concertina fold there, okay? Towards you, away from you, towards you, and you get this funny shape like this. Okay, and then on the long side, you want to just score all of these. Okay. Yes, I actually think the video I did previously was a spot-on video. I was really impressed with it, and I finished it and thought, I'm glad you've done that. You know, you haven't made a single mistake. Go you. And then realised I hadn't pressed record. And go figure, we all know I'll make a mistake now, don't we? So Tear and tape's up next, and you want to run the tear and tape along this strip. So you want to start, let me tell you where you want to start. You want to start on this bit, go past your concertina fold, and you want to go as far as you want down here, but you definitely need to pass that score line. You don't have to go all the way to the end, but you need to pass the score line. You're going to be chopping this bit off, so you don't want to go too much into it because we don't want to waste, but you definitely want to make sure that all of this section is covered. Okay, and just run that along from the crease outwards, and it should fit on it just right. Okay, and then you want to do some chopping, so you want your snips now, and you're just going to chop angled into each tab. So this is this bottom bit here where you haven't got the sticky strip, and you just want to cut out the score marks. I can tell you why with this, it just tidies up the bottom of your box. So if you cut up there straight, and I do see a few demonstrators do it, and fantastic for them, they've got very steady hands, and it looks brilliant, but I don't have that steadier hands and I'm a bit wonky. So I find if I just tailor it in slightly, you don't notice it, but it means there's definitely no overhang on the bottom of my boxes. Okay, so it's literally just cutting the score mark out. You don't want to cut too much, otherwise it gets very obvious, but you just want to cut on a slight angle to take all of these little bits out. When you get to this end, you want to chop like that. So you've got your tear and tape going all the way to the edge. Okay, next up, in comes the tailored tag punch. I can't recommend this punch enough, not just for cutting the tag, so it cuts it like this, but this is great for doing your flag ends, but it's also great on these cracker type projects. Brilliant. Let me show you. What you want to do is you want to pop this into your tag punch. Not all the way. You want to line up the score marks, okay? So hopefully you can see the score mark in the middle needs to line up with the point, and these two score marks need to line up with the edge of the punch, like that. Okay, cut yourself out a nice triangle, and there you go. Fold this over and do the same on this line. Okay, do the next line. Okay, fold and do the next line. And then fold and do the next one. Okay, now if that will tear through there, that's fine, that's exactly what you want. So now we just want to seal the box up. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to grab my piecing tool and take off the backing of the tear and tape. I normally do this with my nails, but as you can see, my nails are uncommonly short today. I like nice long nails, but I ripped one back this week, so I don't like having one short and all the rest long, so I had to cut all of them, which is, I think, quite sad. That's where the fold reaches the back, so that's going to be the back of my box. So what you want to do is you want to pop that one in, that one in. The one we said was the back, fold that in next. So the one that's going to be the front folds to the back, and you get the crease back there, not here, then you get a perfect front. Okay, so you just want to put some tear and tape along here. But on the plus side of having short nails, I can now put my black and grey nail polish on. I don't like black and grey nail polish on my long nails because I think it looks Halloweeny. So I go for bright, colourful sort of nails when they're long. But now they're short, I can put some dark colours on. So that's my only upside from having the shorter nails. but it means I'm having to use my piercing tool for my tear and tape. Oh yes, I did. I thought, gosh, I explained to everyone what they wanted to do and then did the total opposite, but no, I'm okay. It's because I'm waiting, because that other video didn't have a mistake in it. I know that there's probably going to be one in this one at some point. There we go. There is the very essence of the box. Really, really simple. Tie a bow around there and that's your box made. So I'm going to show you now how I decorated it. Okay, I'm going to be doing obviously this one here with this decorations, and you can see I've actually done a mat and the DSP, so I'm going to talk you through it and give you all the measurements. I'm not using my blog anymore, so don't go there for the measurements. I'm going to be just doing them all throughout the video, so I will go nice and slowly to explain them for you. You can pause as we go along or jot it down on a notepad and then make it up once we've finished. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the pink layers first. This is Blushing Bride. Okay, and I've grabbed my ruler so you can see as I'm telling you, because sometimes people are visual, aren't they? So it's 2 1/4 inches wide by 5 3/4 inches long, and you want 2 of those. 2 1/4 by 5 3/4 times 2. Okay, these strips here are also 5 3/4 inches long, but this time they're 1 1/4 inches wide, and you want 2 of those. For the top of the box, you want this one, which is 2 1/4 inches long by 1 1/4 inches wide, and there's 2 of them, so that's 2 1/4 by 1 1/4, and then you want 2 little squares that are 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 as well. So you've got 2 1/4 by 5 3/4, 1 1/4 by 5 3/4, 1 1/4 by 2 1/4, 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. You want 2 of each type of measurement. For the panels, you're going to go 1/4 of an inch less. Okay, so for instance, this one here was 2 1/4, this is 2. By 5 3/4, this is 5 1/2. So it's just 1/4 of an inch less on each one. So the reason I'm not using my blog anymore was because I was getting quite a few views on my videos, and I love doing my videos. I love talking to you. My crafting is the best part of being a demo. Love it. Love chatting to you, love reading your comments. That is my favourite part of being a demo. I love being over on my Instagram at SlimmandStylish. Come and say hello to me over there, and interacting with you all over there. That's great fun. What I actually don't do, and the worst part of being a demonstrator in my mind, is my blog. I'm not really a writer, and I found that making all these wonderful projects was great, but then having to sit each evening and blog the videos that were coming out the next day and everything else just made it a real chore, and I wasn't enjoying doing that. And the thing with Stampin' Up is being a demonstrator is sharing what I love and doing what I love, and if I don't love doing the blog, I'm not going to carry on doing it. And the other thing is I got loads of views on my YouTube, loads of views over on my Instagram, which I liked doing, but not many views on my blogs. So it just made sense to me to get rid of the blog. So what I'm going to be doing in my videos from now on, and I'd love some feedback actually, is telling you the sizes and the dimensions as we go, but doing them a bit slower than I used to do and repeating myself 2 or 3 times. So hopefully you can jot it down, or you can pause, or you sometimes get that lovely sort of 10-second back arrow. That would work. But like I said, you're the ones watching it, so leave me some feedback and tell me what you think's best. But I just know I don't want to go back to typing all the bits and pieces in. I'd much rather do it in the video and then make you another video instead, you know. do the things you love doing. And truthfully, I love doing these videos. I actually really enjoy being a demonstrator. It was just the blogging that sort of I didn't like. So I'm almost coming to the end of these, and as I said, each of these layers was 1/4 of an inch less than the mat. So these pink squares were 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. The DSP is 1 inch by 1 inch. This pink square was 2 1/4 by 1 1/4. The DSP is 2 inches by 1 inches. This pink matting was 1 1/4 by 5 3/4. So this DSP is 1 inch by 5 1/2. And we did this one. The DSP is 2 inches by 5 1/2, which goes onto a 2 1/4 by 5 3/4 pink matting. So now we just need to add these to our box. So I'm just going to pop some adhesive on the back of these. Everything I'm using today is available from my site. The seal, the snips, the runner, everything. Website's just here and you can grab them from my store. But as I said, £75 it would cost you to join my team up until the end of November. It normally costs £99. So that's a good saving to get it down to 75. And you get £130 worth of goodies for that. So that's half price pretty much. So you just want to stick these to your project. So these little squares go up here. And these ones here go on the front and the back, the sides, and these go on the front and back up there, but I haven't put any adhesive on those yet. I was running short of table space. You don't have to demonstrate to be a demonstrator as well. That's the good thing. You can just buy it for the discount. So if you like £130 worth of stuff in the catalogue, then you can get it and get it half price. And then any other order you put in, you get 20% off. So it's a great little discounting type thing. I have a fun little team. We do craft togethers. We have our own little Facebook group. We natter along and interact with each other all the time. And it's nice to have crafty interactions with people, I think. So yeah, you'd be welcome to join us. And the new catalogue, which goes live to everyone in January, which is where the denim ribbon that I showed you earlier came from. That catalogue is actually available to demonstrators in December, so you could purchase that early. Just thinking. Right, for decorating further, you're going to want the pink ribbon. So here we go. Wrap it around the top here and tie it off in a bow. But you want to leave yourself with a longish ears and a longish tail. That way, when people open it and take their goodies out, they can actually do it back up again. I think there's nothing worse than when you get a present like this and you open it up to see what's in there, and then when you come to take it home, you can't get it back how it was before because the bow was too short for you to be able to redo the bow. So give yourself, or give whoever's opening it, lots of wriggle room to be able to put the bow back in. I have well and truly messed that up, haven't I? Let's go again. You know what it is? It's because I'm used to having the reel on this side. There we go. That's better. That feels freer. Isn't it strange how you get used to just like the little things? I'm a creature of habit anyway, as you probably know. I love this ribbon. I like everything about this suite. I think what appeals to this about this suite to me is I'm a little bit unusual when it comes to Christmas. When it comes to Christmas crafts and making and things like that, I love unusual colours. Genuinely, really do. However, so like mint macaron, blushing bride, pinks and blues and purples and greens and stuff for Christmas in my crafting is amazing. I love it. However, in my house, I don't like it. I like traditional golds, greens, reds. Very strange. So for the stamping with this, you're going to want to have the holly. You're also going to want to have the sentiment I pulled you out earlier. Mossy Meadow and Tuxedo Black. So Mossy Meadow for the sentiment. So I'm just going to stamp that on. And punch it out using the Elegant Tag Punch from the annual catalogue. There we go. And then for the holly, you want to do this in Memento. Do 2 of them. And you want to use your Stampin' Blends in Mint Macaron. Now, I had a problem with my Mint Macaron in the earlier video where I realised that I have 2 light ones. The only thing I can guess is I went to a retreat not long ago, a craft retreat, and sat with some of my wonderful team members. And I'm wondering if someone's gone home with 2 darks and I've come home with 2 lights. So if you're one of my team members who was at the retreat, have a look at your blends and just see if that's what happened. Otherwise, I have no idea why that's happened. No explanation for it. Means they're sold in pairs as well, so it's a bit strange, but there we go. So if I did have a dark, that is where I would have put the dark. As it is, I've only got the light, so I'm just going to colour the whole thing in with the light. But if I had the dark, that's what I would have done, and then I would have blended this side in. Okay. It's a strange one, isn't it? Now, there is no Blushing Bride blend. Sad, I know, because I love blends. So I'm going to be using our Stampin' White markers. What I will tell you, and this is a bit of a tip in case you're ever using these, is for Stampin' White markers, you should use our Stays On ink, and for blends, you should use our Memento. The reason why is Memento is water-based, so is the Stampin' White markers. So if you use these with the Memento, they will smudge. The Stays On is alcohol-based, so you can use Stampin' White with the Stays On, fine, no smudging. However, if you use the blends, which are alcohol-based with Stays On, they will smudge. Okay, so you want blends with Memento, Stampin' White with Stays On. But because I'm using both for this project, what I've done is I've used the berries with the Stampin' White because they're only little, and I've avoided the outsides so it doesn't blend into each other. You're then going to use your dies. There's the die for the holly, and the best bit with this, because it did spend me some time, is there's just a little nick here. That is just there on that holly leaf. Okay, die cut those out. Here's 2 I did earlier. Okay, and then you want to pop them onto your tag. So if I just put this to the side, you can see how I've done it. So you just want to have some glue dots. Put the glue dots where the berries are, and then one there, one up there. Okay, you then want your snowflake, which is going to go underneath about there, so pop on the glue dot there, line it up where you want it and stick it down. Okay, next up is this twine. This is gorgeous twine. It's also from the Elegantly Said bundle, which has that tag in, and you want a good amount of it. So I would recommend, I mean, this is grid paper and it goes up to 40 centimeters. I would recommend having about 80 centimeters of it. What's lovely about this twine is it's quite firm, you know, it sticks in the shape you put it in. Whereas our normal twine goes every which way and can be a little bit messy sometimes. So I love this one. So you just want to grab a hole punch and pop a punch in the top of your tag. Okay, so I've just popped one up there. And what you want to do is put this together, feed it through the hole. Okay, and take it through, so it's about 18 sort of centimetres through. Turn this on its back, put some adhesive on the back there. Okay, and then run this down. Okay, then all you need to do is use this, and you'll notice it's already going in circles anyway. Use this to make the circles and then stick it back into the adhesive in the middle. Okay, when you get down the bottom, you might need to put some more adhesive so that your circles will actually form. Okay, and then what you want to do is grab some dimensionals. It looks really messy, doesn't it, from this side, but it won't in a minute. Pop your dimensionals in between each loop that you've created. That will help keep them in place. And you'll notice, you see this part of the snowflake, you can stick a dimensional on there as well. It's the perfect shape for them. Okay, and then keeping this in place, you just want to stick this. Oh, I was going to stick it onto the wrong box. You want to stick it onto your box like that. These two bits that are hanging out the front, pop them into a bow. Oh, that was a bit of a longer bow than I thought it was going to be. There we go. And there you go, with all the twine along. To finish up, I have these sequins. These are adhesive backed and they're from the Artistic Expressions suite in the annual catalogue. There's an Euphoria set and they're in there. Or you could use our dimensionals or gilded gems instead. For the Misty Moonlight one that I did earlier, I actually used the In Colour Square faceted squares. So you could use those instead. But there you go. There are my half cracker boxes that I'll be giving to my colleagues at work this year. Fill them up with all Christmas chocolates and pop them on the desk. The only thing that's left to do that I did on my other one, so this here is the first one, hopefully you can see, it's 3D just on the berries. So I actually use a shimmery crystal effects to pop a little dot on each of these berries, but when you do that, bear in mind it does take about 20 minutes to dry. Doesn't look as good if you touch it while it's drying, so pop it on there, be really patient. Sometimes I like to leave it overnight just to definitely be 100% sure, because otherwise I just keep touching it and it ruins the effect. So hopefully you've liked that. Please do leave me a comment below. Let me know if you've enjoyed it. Let me know where you've joined us from. If you like anything, all available at SlimmandStylish.stampinup.net. And don't forget, this suite will be retiring end of the year. It will sell out. So if you like it, get it quick. And we have that joining offer on until the end of November. £75 it will cost you for £130 worth of goodies from any of the catalogues. Okay, thanks for joining me. I will see you all again soon. Bye everyone. I hope you've enjoyed today's project. All items that I have used on this video are available to purchase from my store www.SlimmandStylish.stampinup.net. Alternatively, if you would like a copy of our catalogues, please send me an email to slimandstylish@live.co.uk or leave me a comment below and I'll get in touch with you. I upload regular content to this channel, so if you do enjoy watching my tutorials, please make sure that you have subscribed and rang the bell to get notifications when new videos go live. Thank you for joining me and have a lovely day.